Good morning, everyone. Greetings from Pittsburgh. I'm here for a couple of days. I'm here to do an afternoon session with a really great company out of here. And I'm also doing a keynote for the University of Pittsburgh's Institute for Entrepreneurial Excellence. So heading home on Wednesday, and I started to think about how our presence impacts everything. So somebody asked a question yesterday. I was on a plane and they were talking about soft stuff, soft stuff, soft stuff. And they weren't quite connecting the dots between how their presence was impacting their leadership. So I want to connect the dots for you today. So I am a little bit jet lagged, not huge, but a little bit. The way that I show up today for this afternoon session is going to make the difference between impacting people's lives in a really positive way and helping them create some really good business results, or in it just being like an okay day. So it behooves me to really make sure I'm doing everything I can to ensure that my presence is set up as possible. So I made sure I ate really well last night. I made sure I'm hydrated. I made sure I got a quick workout in this morning. I did some self-care. I meditated, and I know that I'm fully prepared, having done my IEP sheet and everything going into this particular session. That's going to help me. I've done everything I can on my end to ensure that our time together is as powerful as possible. So that being said, let's just say I did not do that. And I go in this afternoon and I'm going to be working with 20 different executives, but I don't spend the time to do my energetic hygiene around my presence so I can show up and hold the space as best possible. It's going to be an exhausting day if that's the case. It's going to be tiring for me to be able to hold my space. I'll be more likely to be overwhelmed by any kind of negative energy or any kind of resistance in the room. It'll be harder for me to hold that, which actually it's really important in leadership. So this is an important piece for you. It's important in leadership and in your dynamics that you can hold space for conflict and you can hold space for people disagreeing with you. That's a leadership skill. It's really hard to do that if you're exhausted and you're not present. So let's just put that in the category of how presence impacts your leadership. You have to be able to be present and take really good care of yourself so you can create the most solid container possible for conflict to show up, for disagreements, for funky energy, whatever it might be. So there's one. So prepare yourself, make sure that you are well sourced as possible so that you can serve the people you're going to be with, whether that's your kids or your spouse or your people that you lead or whatever it's going to be. Okay, so the second thing I want to have you look at is when you think about the soft stuff with presence, not a single person watching this doesn't know the experience of being with somebody and feeling like you don't have their attention, feeling like they don't really care about what you're saying, feeling like they're just kind of like checking things off the box by talking to you, or that they're with you, but they're thinking of a million other things, or they're thinking about what the next thing they're going to do is. So they're not actually present with you. The impact that that has on us as human beings is pretty detrimental. Like it doesn't feel good. We know what that feels like. So presence, this is where presence comes in as well. Our ability to be present with another human being is actually an acknowledgement of who they are. It's low hanging leadership fruit. It's low hanging fruit for your leadership impact, low hanging fruit for building trust and credibility. So, really play with that today. See how you do this week if you add a little bit extra level of intention to your presence and to your energy and how you're showing up with your people. I promise you, they will notice a difference. They may not give you a parade for it. They may not pat you on the back. They might not even know exactly what's happening, but they will feel the difference between you being fully present with them and really seeing them versus you just kind of moving through things, which honestly, like it's free. It takes an extra second to think about it. It's a leadership muscle. Just do it. Just play with it. When you're in a meeting and you're going into the meetings this week, notice how you're actually being with your people. Are you on your phone? Are you multitasking? Are you giving them your full attention? Or are you kind of checked out and again, trying to do a bunch of things at once? Because if you're doing that, now here we go. Here's another soft skill that's essential. If you're not actually present, you're missing what's being said, which means you're going to probably make not the best decisions. You're probably going to have to do some rework. You're going to have to repeat yourself. And oh, by the way, there are your people again, not trusting you fully because they can sense that you're not present. So here's another thing, right? So last thing I'm just going to offer you as a bonus is to just think about how your presence impacts your ability to make decisions, how your presence impacts your ability to be in relationship with yourself. I know for myself, if I'm not present and I'm trying to make a hard decision, I am going to really struggle with that decision. So it's a leadership skill for me. It's my responsibility to stop, take a pause, take a step back, and really get present with what it is that I'm grappling with so I can make the most informed, responsible leadership decision possible. So thanks as always for being here. Bye.